Junior Jewels. I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess, and we are the hosts of Typical Tuesday Night,
a Taylor Swift podcast.
Hello, and welcome back
to
the Typical Tuesday Night podcast.
Yes.
I'm Jess.
I'm Carly. Okay, before we jump in,
yes,
I got a question for you.
Ooh.
I love coming up with weird things to talk about sometimes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you
That's why you love that song.
That probably, because I'm like, let's talk about something. So the other day, Kyle and I were driving in the car, and he goes, "Do you think Taylor Swift listens to your podcast?" And I was like, "I don't know who you think we are, but no."
He's like dead serious.
No, he was like dead serious. We love a supportive king. But anyway, I was like, no, there's like literally no way. And he was like, I mean, it's possible. She's online. And I was like, true. And
there aren't a ton of
There are
Taylor
not.
Swift.
No, there are not. But then he goes, but do you think someone from her team has heard your podcast? What do you think? Because I could see somebody maybe from her team. Because I think she has a lot of people like in the know and searching.
Lurking.
Yes. And that made me go, interesting.
Maybe. I bet.
Kind of like a cool, weird thing. And
yeah.
then I'm like, maybe Taylor Swift has even heard one thing that we've talked about.
Just because, again, there are not a ton of Taylor Swift podcasts. Like, the difference between like Taylor Swift podcasts and like Taylor Swift fan accounts on Instagram and TikTok, totally different league. Like, there are like comparative, like there are not a lot of Taylor Swift podcasts. So
I was just like, oh, I got to bring this up to Jess.
That would
be an interesting idea.
I mean, I guess I'll just tell myself that yes.
But then I'm also like,
probably not her, but probably someone on her team.
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
An interesting little thing to
And
think
I would
about.
be proud if she listened to anything we ever said.
Yeah. Even if someone from her team was just like, there's these two girls and they just love you. I'd be like,
they just really love you.
We do.
We sure do.
Okay?
We sure do. Oh, I love that. That's so funny. Okay. Just a reminder, if you love our podcast and these episodes and you want an additional 2 episodes every month / our very favorite episodes that we ever do.
They really are. I didn't think I would like love them as much because I love doing the deep dives and like researching and going back, but like, wow, we get candid and sometimes heated and
it's
all the things,
so fun on Patreon.
All the clowning.
So if you love this and you want more, definitely come hang out with us on Patreon. You can subscribe for the bonus episodes. You can do the Junior Jewel or the Club 13 level, and it comes with other perks. Or if you're on Apple and you just want the bonus episodes, you can also subscribe to those episodes directly through the Apple podcast.
And if you do the like yearly on Apple, you get a discount too.
Yes.
So I know some people have been doing that. So, okay. Another thing, I don't know why I apparently just have so many things to talk to you about, but it's one of those like, save it for the podcast, save it for the podcast. Yes. Okay, so we got this email and I don't think you saw it.
Okay.
I responded to it. But you guys, we love when you message us.
Yes.
Message us, email us, text us, all the things. So this is from Aubrey. And she says, "Hi girls. Okay, this may be a long stretch. I was thinking a lot about the order of albums that Taylor's released. And I kind of thought about it in a way where Folklore, she was kind of having a bottle of wine, just a good time. Evermore, she started to drink a little bit more. Eventually it gets to Midnights where she's kind of drunk. She's up and, the walls are talking to her. And eventually we get to the Tortured Poets department where she's kind of hungover. So all I can think about is the next album is where she's refreshed and will get to be a lot more real and upbeat. What do you think?"
I love that.
I thought it was kind of fun.
That's really
I
cool.
never thought about that, but it totally fits.
Totally fits.
It's like you just like saw this progression.
Yeah.
But I also feel like she's feeling a lot more refreshed in her life right now, especially like with Travis and stuff. So, I mean, we've talked about what kind of album we're getting next, and we definitely think it's like a Travis love album.
A glitter gel pen
Yes,
album.
100%.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of fun.
That is so fun. I love that.
Yeah. We love you guys when people send in stuff like that.
Yeah.
So always send in your theories and your all the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even Fortnite, first album, Tortured Poets Department, what is it? I was just singing in my head.
Oh,
I was supposed to be sent away.
they forgot to come and get me. Yeah.
I
was a functioning alcoholic. Yeah.
Until, So I don't know.
Nope. Totally fits. We love it.
Totally fits. Okay. So a little overview of today. We had our news update last week. And this week we're jumping back into our Midnights series.
Yes.
And today we will specifically be talking about the Midnights era.
Mm-hmm.
So basically when it was, the aesthetic of like the overall album, and of Taylor. Taylor like embodies her work.
Yeah. Oh, she totally
Literally.
does. It's like, what was her life like at this time?
Yes. What you need to know that like shaped that era, who she was dating, etc.
All the things. Yeah. All the things. Okay, well, while I was researching for this, I found this really cool quote. And I feel like it's the perfect way to describe the Midnights era. So I'm going to read it. So this, I was trying to remember where I saw it. No, I should have written it down. I don't remember where this quote's from.
It says...
I know. I thought at the bottom it was, but nope. Okay, so they said, how do you measure the impact of a musician in the 2020s? Streams can be bought, awards can be finessed. Is it when demand for show tickets leads to a congressional hearing about Ticketmaster's policies? Or when flight attendants shout out a fan base making a pilgrimage to see the opening night of a tour in a city officially renamed to Swift City to mark the occasion? Or when one lyric launches a global resurgence of trading friendship bracelets? Nearly a decade ago, Time ran a headline declaring Taylor Swift is the music industry. And those with even the slightest pulse on pop culture could tell she'd only grown more omnipresent since. It all led to Midnights and the Eras Tour. In March 2023, Taylor debuted a discography spanning setlist that lasted over 3 hours and kicked off an amply named stadium run destined to become the highest grossing concert tour of all time. In 2023, Taylor Swift single-handedly was pop culture.
Yes,
right?
She was.
But yes. It was like the whole time I was like, yes. Because there's no other artist that it's like people had a congressional hearing about Ticketmaster because of Swifties.
Yeah.
Flight attendants were playing
like all too well
music on the intercom, making jokes about, and that was even, I was going to say, did that happen on my flight to Arizona? But I don't think it did. I think that was to LA.
Yeah.
But like, it
changing the name of the city.
Yes.
Even
her mayor.
Going to the opening night in Glendale, like when we were driving on the freeway, like those electronic like freeway signs that will say like lane closure ahead or whatever. There was like a Taylor Swift thing up there. Like,
and that's crazy to think that like they didn't even know what this was going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was just because it was Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Like the Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Cities literally don't do that for anybody else.
Yeah, no.
Anybody else. It's amazing. Yeah. I actually am curious because I feel like the Eras Tour was really revolutionary.
Yes.
And I am curious to see if concerts change going forward. I mean, even the Jonas Brothers were doing like a... you know,
longer
come
and
here, like all of our past stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
It will be.
The Eras Tour, we miss it.
I know.
Okay, so let's do an era overview with the basics of what you need to know of the Midnights era. So the era started August of 2022 and it ended February of 2024. The tour was the Eras Tour. And the aesthetic was like nighttime, midnight blue, lavender, clocks, the 1970s, and glam.
I feel like that you kind of described a lot of this area on YouTube, like our studio.
Yes.
Like midnight blue, lavender, our clock.
We are the Midnights era. I mean, we were born in the Midnights era.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Happy birthday.
The podcast was born in the Midnights era. So fun. And then we've got the style, which was friendship bracelets, faux fur coats, collared sweaters, sweater vests, wide leg pants, neutral colors, glitter eyeshadow, and long wavy hair.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing is like, that's why we do an entire episode on the Midnights era or like any era that we're talking about. Because like you said, her work is just embodied in her life during
Yeah.
those like 2 years.
It's
She
down
takes
to
on
her fingernail color.
Yes.
Like she does it all.
Yeah. No, she does.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of start the Midnight's era, she was kind of laying low still in London. We didn't see her much the first half of 2022.
Yeah.
And she spent a lot of time in London with Joe. This was also the time, and we talked about this in our like Joe and Taylor relationship deep dive, but 2022, oh my goodness, 2022, why is that so hard to say, was when engagement rumors really started to pick up.
Yeah.
And I think now, like listening to Midnights with this retrospective, like perspective,
Yeah.
and thinking that like all these engagement rumors were going on.
I know, it's painful.
It is.
It's so painful.
Oh.
The height of engagement rumors were after You're Losing Me was written, which is so painful.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because you know that she was like, no.
Yeah.
We are not.
Never happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and she probably like wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then to like have those rumors and be like, will you guys just stop?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it really, it's so sad. She did appear at a few festivals to promote her short film, All Too Well, which is kind of fun. And then in May of 2022, she received an honorary doctorate degree from NYU. And that's when she like held that commencement speech for the 2022 class, which was so cool. I could not even imagine.
Yes. And we talked about in the last Midnights episode we did, how in that speech she did like the Sweet Nothing lyric.
Yep.
So fun. Okay, so when she announced Midnights, we kind of talked about this before, but so make sure to go back and listen to the other ones if you haven't. But she announced at the 2022 MTV Video Music Awards while accepting the award for Video of the Year for All Too Well short film. And she shared on social media that it would have 13 tracks of Sleepless Nights. So fun.
So fun. She also won Songwriter Artist of the Decade. So right before the album released, this was on September 20th. She was named Songwriter Artist of the Decade for her work in the 2010s by Nashville Songwriters Association International. I did not remember that.
No, that's so cool.
But I was like, that's way cool. And I love this. So she said this quote, and I just had to include it again, but she says, I'm up here receiving this beautiful award for a decade of work, and I can't possibly explain how nice that feels. Because the way I see it, this is an award that celebrates a culmination of moments, challenges, gauntlets laid down, albums I'm proud of, triumphs, strokes of luck or misfortune, loud, embarrassing errors, and the subsequent recovery from those mistakes, and the lessons learned from all of it. This award celebrates my family and my coworkers and my team, my friends and my fiercest fans and my harshest detractors and everyone who entered my life or left it. Because when it comes to my songwriting and my life, they are one and the same. Writing songs is my life's work. I just like love that. Yes. Writing songs is my life work and my hobby and my never-ending thrill. I am moved beyond words that you, my peers, decided to honor me in this way for work I'd still be doing if I had never been recognized for it. Writing songs is a calling, and getting to call it your career makes you very lucky. You have to be grateful every day for it and all the people who thought your words might be worth listening to. This town, Nashville, is the school that taught me that. To be honored by you means more than any genre of my lyrics could ever say. Thank you.
Oh,
I just love when you hear her realize what songwriting is for her.
Yeah.
And like the impact that it's had on her life and just how much she loves it.
Yes.
Because that's why, and we've talked about this before, that's why when we say like she's going to put out 4 albums this year, like, yeah, it's crazy. But I could see her putting out TS12 soon because she loves writing music so much.
Like she said specifically, writing songs is my life work, my hobby, and never ending thrill. Like that's like most of what she thinks about.
Yeah.
And so we're not asking for more. We're just predicting off of previous,
because we know what she likes to do.
If she took the whole year off, great.
Yeah.
Love that
for her. Yes,
for
like, sure.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So for the album like promotion and release, she promoted the album heavily on social media with the Midnight's Mayhem, which we talked about.
Yeah.
On TikTok, and then the album broke a ton of records. A ton.
So many.
Yes. Some, just a few, were streamed 228 million times on Spotify in 24 hours.
Still blows my mind.
Top selling album of 2022 in one day. She was
insane.
the top selling album for the year and like in a single day.
And this album came out in October. So it's not like it came out in January or February.
That's insane. First artist to occupy the entirety of the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10. So cool.
So cool.
Yes. And then on Jimmy Fallon, she said, I'm beside myself, really. I'm feeling very overwhelmed by the fans' love for the album. I'm also feeling very soft and fragile. That makes me so sad.
I know. Also, I'm like, oh, did I not realize? I mean, I know people did.
Oh, I just like reading that, just like triggers. And I'm just like, that is so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The two can coexist at once, but the fact that the fans have done this, like the breaking of records and the going out to the stores and getting it, it's, I'm 32, so we're considered geriatric pop stars.
So funny.
They start to put us out to pasture at age 25. I'm just happy to be here. Wow, that was just
which is wild to think that, because that's true.
Yeah.
And I think that was true, especially in like the 90s and the early-ish 2000s.
Yeah.
But I feel like now people are, I mean, I guess there's not as many, but there's still quite a few that are still, in their 30s thriving.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, she's written songs on Red about like, okay, when are you guys giving up on me? Like, how much longer do I really have?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's kind of sad.
It really is.
Because it's not like it's like sports where like you literally age out. Like your body can only take so much. It's like musicians could go
like
for
she
a
can keep
long
going.
time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm so glad that she loves it though, because having her as my favorite artist, I just like cannot even imagine the day she stops. I know.
When the Eras tour first was announced, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is the end. Like she's done after this." And I said, "Never." And then she confirmed it one time in a Champagne Problem speech. She's like, "I just want to do this forever."
And I think she will continue.
Yeah,
to go for a very long time, which makes me really happy. And I think even when she's married and she has kids and she's not doing as much as she is now, I can totally see her being like, I'm going to put out an album of lullabies for my children.
She might not do as intense of a tour, but like she doesn't have to stop completely.
No.
Like,
and I don't think
she
she
can
will.
have both,
Yep. 100%.
So,
okay. She did have a couple of surprise performances. And I wanted to talk about these. So October 26th, she went to Bon Iver's concert in London and they sang Exile together. And then the 1975 show in London and sang Antihero.
Interesting.
And I did not realize what a big deal that was until a few months later.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. That's so fun. I did not know that she went to Bon Iver's concert.
Oh yeah, I like remember
Exile
that
together. That's so fun.
I know.
I love that. Also, funny thing, I think because of the Grammys, I was like watching old videos. I don't know when she was accepting an award for Midnights. I can't remember what it was, but like, what's his real name?
Oh,
do you remember?
No.
She was like thanking people, blah, blah, blah. Like, thank you, so-and-so. Thank you.
Justin?
Thank you,
Vernon.
Justin. Hope to meet you someday, because they hadn't met yet.
That's funny.
Because they recorded.
Yeah, they recorded virtually
for Exile.
That's wild.
Isn't that so funny?
That is wild.
So Taylor as a director.
We thought.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. December 9th of 2022, she announced she would be making her feature directorial debut with Searchlight Pictures. She wrote an original script and other details are under wraps, and we haven't heard anything since then.
I had forgotten about this.
Over 2 years ago.
I totally forgot about this.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when it came out, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's still going, like, maybe now that the Eras tour is done, she's going to work on it more, or...
I remember last year, I don't remember when, but during some, like, Eras tour breaks and stuff, she'd be seen out to dinner with, like, big film people, and also when she went to... like Emma Stone's film premiere for
what was that
something
called?
Things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, what was that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, dang.
But like she was seen with people that like kind of made it seem like she was still maybe doing that.
So maybe she's still, it's just like a slow
and
slow progress.
Super
I'm
under wraps.
surprised that like we haven't heard anything else.
Yeah.
It like surprises me.
Yeah.
So weird.
I can't even imagine seeing a film with an original script from Taylor Swift. Especially, I mean, we're talking about the Midnight's era. We're talking about how she thinks about every single little detail. Yeah. So for her to be doing that for a whole film.
would be amazing.
Well,
and it's interesting because I feel like Folklore, Evermore, and Midnight's, she talks a lot about how songs were inspired by movies.
Mm-hmm.
And also in like Folklore, Evermore time, she claims that a lot of those are like made up.
Mm-hmm.
Like she just created characters. And I wonder if during that time, she was writing this like script.
Yeah.
Because she just like was having fun with that.
Yeah. Crazy.
So cool.
Okay. So today's podcast has one of our favorite sponsors, Clean Simple Easy.
I was thinking about it, like this was our first sponsor.
Yeah.
So fun.
Which is perfect. Like we said, we've used them a lot.
Yes.
We've used them for a long time.
Yeah. So Clean Simple Eats has been helping me a lot the last few years with like my health goals. And I feel like as we get into 2025, you know, everybody's got that like, yes, my new health goal. Because before I had my baby, I had been working like really hard to like build my muscle. And I feel like Clean Simple Eats was helping me because I was helping me get my protein in. And they have so many different protein powder flavors. My favorites are brownie batter, simple vanilla, and the mint chocolate cookie. And I also love like mixing their coconut cream flavor like into drinks. I made like the pink drink from Starbucks using their protein. It's like, this is great.
Yum. You can also, if you've listened before, you can also just add a scoop of protein powder into milk and shake it up and drink it.
So easy.
And it's so easy and delicious. My new favorite thing that I've been sleeping on, guys.
For reals, though.
It's the best. It's so easy, especially that brownie batter flavor.
It's so good. It's so
good. And you just immediately get 20 grams of protein. So it mixes really well. It doesn't taste, I know some proteins can taste like chalky or have like a weird texture, and
it's like so smooth.
So yummy.
Yeah.
I like prefer it over chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And if protein shakes aren't your thing, they recently came out with protein drinks in a can, and they're like great different options for getting your protein in. Like you can just easily grab a can, throw it in your bag, go wherever, and then drink it whenever you're ready. So they also recently came out with clear protein powder that you can also add to your drinks if you're not really like more into the milk, you want it with water or whatever.
Yeah. So. And they also just released unflavored protein.
I did see
you
that.
can add that into pancakes and waffles, or you could add it into a smoothie if you're not wanting to like affect the taste or
love it. So let's get our protein in.
Yes, seriously. So they have a discount code for us. So if you order with our code, you get 10% off your order. Our code is TTN10. And it's been so fun to hear. Like we said, it was our first sponsors. We've been talking about them all year. And it's fun to hear you guys like say, oh my gosh, I got this and tried it and loved it. And we're so glad.
So good. So happy. Okay. I think another thing that really is like a huge part of the Midnight's era is the Ticketmaster survival. If you survived. If you did not survive, I'm sorry.
Even those who survived, it
was terrible.
Barely survived. Barely.
For reals though. It's crazy. So fans decided to sue Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Over the technical difficulties of the rollout for like her ticket sales for her Eras tour. They alleged fraud, misrepresentation, and antitrust violations.
Crazy.
It's crazy that it went that far.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't mess with Swifties. Do not mess with Swifties.
If you didn't know, do not mess with Swifties or Taylor Swift.
Oh, it's crazy because a lot of people were mad because verified fans were supposed to have like a leg up in the competition with like invite codes. But a lot of people were saying like it felt like most shows were sold out before pre-sale even began. So
Yeah.
like they didn't feel like they had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I found this stat. It said 12 million unique visitors, including bots, waited
Boo.
in line and crashed the website. 2 million tickets were ultimately purchased in one day. That's insane.
It's insane that many tickets were purchased in one day, but also insane that 12 million users were on trying to get them. Before we even knew what it was, because the desire to go and the hype skyrocketed after it came out. So to think that many people were trying before is crazy. Granted, like I counted as like 2 or 3 because like I had 2 devices, 2 accounts, you know, whatever.
No,
but
for
still,
sure. But still,
insane.
Compared to 12 million.
Yeah. That's so nuts.
It is interesting because Ticketmaster did announce on November 17th that it canceled the general public sale due to extraordinarily high demands on ticketing systems and insufficient remaining ticket inventory to meet that demand.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Well, then Taylor finally like said something about it, and this is what she said. She says, "It goes without saying that I'm extremely protective of my fans. We've been doing this for decades together, and over the years I've brought so many elements of my career in-house. I've done this specifically to improve the quality of my fans' experience by doing it myself with my team who care as much about my fans as I do. It's truly amazing that 2.4 million people got tickets, but it really pisses me off that a lot of them feel like they went through several bear attacks to get them.
Literally.
But like you said, the people that even survived barely survived.
We spent 10 hours of a day trying to get them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, wild. And then the next day, Ticketmaster apologized to Taylor's fans, and because of Taylor's team, they started reaching out to fans who were registered for pre-sale to offer additional opportunities to buy seats. And thank goodness. Thank you, Ticketmaster, because that's how I got all my seats.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. My goodness. What a mess.
It was a mess. And people are still upset at Ticketmaster. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but they're a mess and they need to change something.
Yeah. And everyone referenced it as Surviving the Great War.
I know.
Which is a midnight
amazing.
song.
I know.
Is so fun. So gearing up for tour, she didn't really need to go out much to like promote Midnights because it was staying on top of the charts.
It's like crazy. She doesn't need to do anything.
I know. She doesn't. Like she used to do so much promo, which I feel like the Midnight's Mayhem felt like a lot, but probably because we just don't get a lot of promo from her anymore. So that felt very like
it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. But her only time out between December and the start of tour, besides showing up at the 1975 concert, was the night of the Grammys on February 5th.
Which also makes that 1975 show
even crazier.
Yes. Like you weren't seen at all.
Yeah.
Between December and March 17th, except for the Grammys, which like, okay, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And then to go see Matty Healy and perform at a 1975 show?
What? Wow. Anyways.
Yeah.
She spent her time rehearsing for tour, obviously, and probably was figuring out her relationship.
Yeah.
It was a very clear divide between her music career and her personal life.
I feel like sometimes those overlap, and this was like a big time where it was like her music was her music, and we didn't really know what was going on with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the Eras tour, which we talked a lot about, but it was her first stadium tour since 2018.
Crazy.
which was Red.
Rest in peace, Loverfest.
I know.
Not that, I mean, there was only a few shows, but it's the loss of our life.
We could have gone.
LOML.
Yeah, for real though.
Loverfest.
That is the, yes.
Yeah.
100%. That's when the friendship bracelets came out, and we saw that like Taylor just had an immense loyal fan base. Like it was even more apparent, I think, than ever.
Yeah.
And I saw this and I just felt like this was the perfect way to describe the Eras Tour, but it was like Taylor's own reality TV show. Isn't that like so true though?
Yes.
With like a new chapter or like a new episode every single week. And it was like, what was she going to change? What was she going to wear? Did she seem sad after a breakup? Was she happy? Oh my gosh, Matty Healy's there. Oh my gosh, Travis Kelce's there. Like,
oh my gosh.
She wasn't doing any interviews or anything. She was like just communicating with her fans on this quote unquote reality TV show every week.
Yeah.
Like that's where she talked to us.
Yeah.
And like she knew everybody was watching.
Crazy. That is so fun.
But it makes me sad.
Like, about it like that at all.
Oh, my favorite TV show's gone.
That is how it feels.
It does.
Honestly. Who were you with me? We were talking about someone about video games. Who was I talking to about this? Someone. Oh, it was my friend Katie, who listens to the podcast. So
hi, Katie.
Shout out to Katie. She was saying, she was like, her husband was telling her, like, you know, guys can like get online and they will just like play video games together. It's like a super fun way to connect that's like online. And he's like, girls just like don't really have anything like that. And I was like, we did. It was the Eras Tour. The Eras Tour was like our way to like be online together, be connected, all be like invested in the same thing.
I know.
And now it's gone. And it's so sad.
It is. Ugh.
But you have the podcast. We have the podcast.
And you can chat with us anytime on Patreon.
Yes. Yes. So we had the Joe Alwyn breakup, and that was announced on April 8th of 2023. And People magazine was told by Tree Payne, her publicist, they had plenty in common and fell in love in a safe bubble while she was retreating from the world during Reputation. Then the pandemic hit and they were locked down together and able to continue growing their relationship in this insulated way. But he didn't really know her yet outside of that bubble. Joe has struggled with Taylor's level of fame and the attention from the public. The differences in their personalities have also become harder to ignore after years together. They've grown apart. Wow, I don't remember
reading that either.
Especially like, just funny that this came from Tree and to say like,
well, I think they said probably Tree because that's who. So I shouldn't say like definitely, but
Joe
like
has struggled with Taylor's level of fame and attention.
I mean, it was kind of obvious though.
Yeah.
I just remember I was really shocked.
Yeah.
Because like we couldn't see anything coming because that was all we had known was like a life of them not really being in the public eye.
Yeah. Like Taylor Swift doesn't show up to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we're like, okay.
They've broken up. Yeah. You know, like there wasn't any like context like that.
Or like if we don't see them out and together for, a month or two, we would be like, okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
But like her and Joe, if we didn't hear from them for 7 months, we'd be like, well,
5 years.
Yeah. for real though.
Wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Crazy. According to multiple sources, it was more of Taylor's decision to break up. She and Joe had been talking about marriage as recently as a few months ago, but at the end of the day, the couple wasn't ready for a future together. Taylor didn't see them working out in the long run, said the insider. Taylor is staying very focused on her tour right now. And what did you think when you heard the news?
I mean, I was just like so surprised.
Yeah.
I just did not see it ending.
Yeah.
I felt really like sad for her because I'm like 6 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm. But also
I also was just like,
we've talked about it before.
Yeah, like I don't really know you. I don't really know you guys together. Mm-hmm. So I'm sad for you because that sucks.
That like we weren't that invested in the relationship.
I wasn't. No.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we finally saw her out on April 10th, so about a month later, with Jack Antonoff and his fiance at the time in New York City. And then from then on, we started to see her out more and more and more. So we would see her going out with friends or going to and from the studio. And she moved back from London to New York City, like officially. She's staying here.
Yeah.
So she was still bejeweled. She
And
was
then
coming.
she took her bejeweled self.
That was that look you gave me.
She took her bejeweled self and decided to date the smallest man who ever lived,
For real, though.
Matty Healy.
Okay, I don't know if we've talked about this recently or ever. Do you remember talking about this when we went to Thanksgiving Point with our kids?
About them.
Matty Healy?
I don't know, maybe.
I vividly remember, like I can see myself pushing the stroller at like one of the I think we were at like the Tulip Festival. And like I remember being like, I don't think this is real. Like I remember having this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Because I did not believe it.
Yeah.
I thought there was no
way.
Oh, there was a way. There was a way, and there would have been a way coming for a long time.
Yeah. So in May, it was rumored that they were casually dating. He attended the Eras tour, and he has like, you know, he's a very controversial person. He says a lot of dumb things without thinking.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were dating made a lot of fans super, super upset. They even started a campaign on Twitter, #SpeakUpNow, demanding that she break up with him and justifying why they did what they did and that they weren't going to go to the tour.
I just think that is the weirdest.
It's insane.
Yes.
Do you think you can sign a petition and tell someone how to live their personal life? Like, if you don't respect her or think she can like make her own decisions and you don't like the decisions she's making, you just stop engaging.
Yes.
You don't listen to her music.
Yes.
You don't go to her concert.
Yeah.
If that's what you feel like you need to do, you do that. You don't sign a petition for her to break up with her boyfriend. That's not how the world works. That's actually insane.
It really is. Like, did they really think that was going to work? That's what I'm like, what?
I don't know. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
It really was.
We are Swifties. We love Swifties. Swifties are amazing, but there are a lot of Swifties, and obviously there are a few that aren't nice or do crazy things like this.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna pop up, but it was wild.
It really was a wild time.
Yeah. And then their relationship ended in June. So
kind of short-lived.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about that and you haven't listened to our Matty Healy episode, you are going to want to do that.
We went in after Tortured Poets.
All in. We tell you all the things you need to know. I think we have
multiple episodes.
I think so. Yeah. And the stuff I learned was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, like it's crazy to me that like all of this has happened and we're still in the Midnights era.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was so much going on.
So much.
And like at this point, the Eras tour is just skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is getting bigger and bigger. There is like everybody is watching the live streams. There is Taylor gating. Tickets are selling way above face value. Cities changing their name, giving keys. She's honorary mayor. There are fireworks shows.
Yeah.
Like it is insane.
Yeah.
I saw one fan paid $21,000 to go to the Eras tour last night.
What?
Wild.
That is insane. I could never. Even if, I mean, we all know how I feel about Taylor Swift, but if I did not have tickets, I could never spend that much money to go. I would pay the price of depression and watch a live stream. That's so nuts.
I know.
Wow. Okay, so the Till Dawn edition.
Yes.
She released a new deluxe version of Midnights called the Till Dawn edition, which included the Karma remix with Ice Spice, Snow on the Beach with more Lana Del Rey, and Hits Different came to streaming, which was the greatest day of my life.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yes. And then the new vault track of You're Losing Me.
Oh, I think I'm just gonna say, I think this is probably like her saddest song.
It is.
I was like trying to think if there was another one, but
it's the saddest. Absolutely.
It is.
Like, How Did It End is so sad. LOML is so sad, but like, and like Prophecy, so sad. I don't know.
Yeah,
she has a lot of really sad songs.
100%.
I just think this one takes it.
It really, to me, I really think it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
So sad.
Okay, we are going to take a quick ad break to talk about our other sponsor for today's episode, Love Olive Co. So we talked about this last week, but we also have these outfits. If you're on YouTube, you can see them.
Yes.
If you're not, head to our Instagram and you can see them there as well. But I went with this really cute, like floral, oh my gosh, like button up. What are these called again?
Yeah. Is it a
Henley? Thank you. Yes. Okay. I was like, what is the word? This is terrible.
I'm like, you're the fashionista.
I'm the one that likes fashion.
I'm like, but it's a shirt.
It's a shirt. Yeah. What? I love it. There's like really fun detail that you can see on our Instagram, but it kind of gave me Midnight's vibes.
For sure.
I was like, oh, and then these pants, and then these really fun
twinning
floral.
in our socks.
Yeah, and our shoes. Kind of fun. But
yeah, and then I have this super cute blue striped sweater that I was telling you, like, I don't wear a lot of blue.
No, but that looks so good on you.
Obsessed with it.
It looks so good on you.
I actually love this sweater so much. I bought it in 2 colors.
She did. I was like, oh, we should have matched. Yeah. I should have worn the pink, which is my color.
It's so
we would have been completely matching.
Yes. But and our jeans. We're obsessed with these jeans.
These are great.
Probably my favorite pair I own now. There you go. Yeah. They're always releasing new stuff. They have tons of cute clothes, from like dresses to loungewear to jeans, and just they're always on like the latest trends, and it's super cute. Tons of accessories and all the things.
Love them. And they gave us a discount code. It's TTN Podcast for 10% off your purchase at loveoliveco.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think another thing that's really cool about the Midnight's era is how much Taylor gave back. Like, she was at her peak. She was so big, and she didn't forget about people. Like, she knew what she was getting in her life, and she wanted to give back. And I mean, you've said it before, but like, we made the right person famous.
We did.
That is so cool, and not everybody does that.
Yeah.
But like, she gave back to every single local food bank for wherever she performed for the Eras tour. She gave bonuses totaling more than $55 million to those working on her tour. She gave 50 truck drivers each $100,000 and a handwritten note.
Yeah. And that was just after, I mean, obviously, except when she was using most of the truck drivers, but like after the US leg.
Yeah.
So like, that just like was the beginning of stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I saw this quote from one of the truck drivers. He said, it's a life-changing sum of money for somebody to be able to become a homeowner. And for drivers that have children or starting at that age that they're going off to college, it's a game changer. He said that at first he thought it was a joke. And he said, because most artists just tip them $5,000 to $10,000.
What?
So like, I'm sure you like saw that and was like, was that supposed to say $10,000? Oh my gosh. And then you're like, $100,000
to each truck driver.
That's incredible.
That's
like
crazy.
Oh,
my goodness.
I love it.
Yes. So then there was an Eras tour break. She went out with friends and got hype even bigger around her.
It just like kept growing.
Yeah. And then September 13th, she won 9 awards at the MTV Video Music Awards for Antihero, won Video of the Year. So
cool.
She said, this is unbelievable. I just want to say that the fact that this is a fan voted award means so much to me based on memories that we've made recently. I've just been on tour that has been the most joyful and exhilarating experience, and we're not even halfway done with it. It's really felt like the adventure of a lifetime this past year. I cannot believe that it was a year ago at the VMAs that I announced the Midnight's album, and all I have to say tonight is thank you. I'm blown away. Thank you so much to the fans. I love you so much. And then she stepped out in Kansas City during the last week of September to support Travis. Then the Travis era began.
Yes. Like, I know I just said it, but there's so much that happened in the Midnight's era.
So much.
Like,
the Midnight's
broke
era.
up with Joe, went to Matty, broke up with Matty, went to Travis. And like, I don't mean to say that in like a way because people are going to be like, oh my gosh, she goes through boys. Like, no, because like the Joe thing was like 6 years.
Yeah.
And then she had a little
rebound situation.
A thing. And then she like met Travis. And I don't take that in any way, but it's just like crazy to think of like big things were happening in her life at this time.
Yeah.
Huge things.
Huge things.
But yeah. Travis freaking Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Travis and Kelce.
So fun. Yeah, she started like going to the games. They like were seen out together a bunch, which was really fun. Chiefs football was kind of a fun thing for Swifties to get behind. And other people hated the Swifties were getting behind Chiefs football, which
don't get us started.
We don't need to get into that. But yeah, so fun. We just love that Travis is part of her.
We ship it.
Yes, we do.
Taylor achieved billionaire
status. Go girl.
Just so cool. October of 2023, the Eras Tour put Taylor in billionaire status.
So wild.
And making her one of few artists to reach that status based off music alone. Like a lot of artists have other, like Selena Gomez has her makeup line, Rihanna has her makeup line. Like they have other avenues of like making money, and Taylor's is purely based off of her music career.
So cool.
Which is so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. So the calculation took into account the estimated value of her 5 homes at 110 million. Crazy. Her music catalog, 400 million for music released since 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
$400 million just for the music release since 2019.
Yeah.
What?
Some of which she had reclaimed through re-recording, earnings from stream deals, 120 million from YouTube and Spotify, music sales, 80 million, concert tickets and merchandise, 370 million.
That is so wild.
And the impact of income tax, tour production, and travel costs and commissions paid to managers and agents.
I just thought that was a cool breakdown.
That is so cool. I hadn't seen that breakdown before.
Yeah, cool. Way cool. Okay, and then she moves on to Tortured Poets.
To the Tortured Poets department.
And that wraps
up. The Grammys of 2024.
That wraps up Midnight's.
Midnight's won Album of the Year.
Yeah.
At those Grammys. And then she announced.
Oh, so crazy.
What a time.
What a time. Yeah, but there is a lot that went down in the Midnight's era, and we have actually talked about a lot of those specifically, like individually. So if you're interested in Joe or Matty, Tortured Poets, Travis, Eras Tour,
We've got so many.
Yes, just scroll back. You will find all the things that you need on that, but we've given you a lot more deep diving on that.
Yes.
Over there.
So if you love listening or watching our podcast, please leave a rating, a review, a comment.
Please
send us a message.
Yeah, I mean, we read them. Like, we love when you guys do that. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah. So on Apple, you can leave a rating and review. Spotify, you can just leave a rating. And then YouTube, you can leave a comment about why you love the podcast. And we'd love it. And we'll read it on the podcast.
Well, and I've been sharing all of those like podcast reviews on Apple. So keep sending them so I don't run out of them.
Yes. And come back next week because we're doing a fan favorite Misheard Lyrics episode.
Woo!
We're so excited. And don't forget to follow us on social media because that is where we like post and ask you guys for your misheard lyrics. So on TikTok, we are typicaltuesdaynight.pod, and on Instagram, we're typicaltuesdaynight.podcast.
Yes. And do you remember when we used to talk about how our TikTok was just like nothing?
Yeah.
I feel like it's doing much better.
Oh, yeah. We're getting
Carly
there. Carly really loves TikTok now.
I'm like having a good time over on TikTok.
She loves posting on TikTok.
Great. Yeah.
Carly's face is all over our TikTok. It's great.
I like used to never get on TikTok, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And you guys, so many of you have found us because of TikTok, and that's been fun. So thank you for all my TikTok peeps that are here.
My TikTokers.
My TikTokers. And now I sound like a millennial, so that's great.
Well,
I am one.
We are what we are.
Yep. But that was fun.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was thinking, like, I've always loved the Speak Now era, mainly for like sentimental reasons. But like, I truly think the Midnight era is like gonna always hold a special place in my heart, probably mainly for the Eras tour.
Yeah.
But just like what she did and like our podcast. And it's just fun to think that like Taylor truly showed us that like during this era, she could make the whole place shimmer.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Okay, see you next week.